Good morning, students. Welcome to the digital classroom with Holy Heart Schools. Today we are going to continue with our chapter Hydrosphere. In today's video, we will be learning about spring tide, neap tides, and importance of tides. While going through these topics, we will be learning some new words like Number 1. Tides. The alternate rise and fall in the level of sea water. Number 2. Spring tides. Spring tides are the strong tides that occur during the full moon and new moon. Number 3. Tidal range. The difference between high tide and low tide. Number 4. Neap tides. Neap tides are the moderate tides that occur on half moon days. Number 5, we have estuaries. Estuaries are the partially enclosed coastal bodies of brackish water with one or more river streams mixed with salt water from the seas or oceans. Number 6. Tidal current. The inward and outward movement of water in a gulf is known as tidal current. And at last we have tidal bore, a vertical wall formed when sea waves strike with the river in deltas at their mouth. So now students, please open up your chapter number 12, page number 81. But before we start with the today's topic, let's have a brief about the topic. Tides are alternate rise and fall of seawater. Basically, tides are of different magnitude or height in the open sea to that of the coastal areas. In the open oceans, the difference in the height between high and low tides may be only half a meter, but in shallow marginal seas, it can increase to about 10 meters and in some of the estuaries up to 12 meters, which is of great advantage to fishermen. On an average, the tides rise to about 4 meters. This difference between high and low tide is known as tidal range. Now, when we are talking about tides, the tides are of two main types. Number 1, spring tide, and number 2, neap tides. Spring tides are produced when moon, sun and earth are almost in the same straight line. Thus, the tides produced are of greatest range. It occurs twice in a month, either at the time of new moon or at the time of full moon. The sun being so far away from the earth has its tidal pull only about half of that of the moon. Hence, sun alone is incapable of producing the usual tides by it. But the sun can help the moon in producing a tide. So, on full moon and new moon days, that is twice during the lunar month, the sun and the moon exert their combined gravitational force on the earth, causing a tide with a great tidal range than that of the ordinary tides. It is known as spring tide. The high tide is very high and the low tide is very low. When a moon is nearest to the earth in its orbit around the earth, which is also known as perigee, the spring tides are still higher, and if this situation occurs round about 1st January, when the earth is nearest to the sun, that is at the time of perihelion, the highest spring tides are produced. So now students, let's start with the reading of the topic today. Spring tide and neap tide. Spring tides are basically the strong tides that occur during full moon and new moon days, and neap tides are the moderate tides that occur on half moon days. Tides do not rise to the same height every day. They may be very high or very low. The relative position of the moon and the sun with respect to earth is responsible for the variation in the height of tides. This is all because of their gravitational pull. The difference between the high tide water and the low tide water is called tidal range. Range is basically the difference between high tide and the low tide. Let's start with spring tide. On full moon and new moon days, the sun, the moon and the earth are almost in the same line. As they are in the same line, they both exert their combined force towards the earth, which pulls the water and which leads to high tide. On these days, the sun and the moon exert their combined gravitational force. Gravitational force is the force that attracts the objects towards each other. Thus, on these 2 days, the high tides are the highest and are known as spring tides. The height of the spring tide is about 20% more than that of the normal high tide. They occur twice a month. Now next we have neap tides. The moon revolves round the earth on its orbit, having different phases. On half moon days, when moon is at the first and the last quarters, the sun and the moon are at right angles to one another in relation to the earth. The gravitational pull of the sun and the moon work in the opposite directions. The gravitational pull of the sun opposes that of the moon. In such cases, the high tide is lower and the low tide is higher than at other times. These are called the neap tides. So now let's read. Neap tide. On half moon days, that is the first and the last quarter phases of the moon, the sun and the moon are at the right angles to the center of the earth. The tide producing force of the moon and the sun work in an opposite direction and they partially cancel each other's force. During the time of spring tide, they were exerting the combined force on the earth, but at this time they are cancelling each other's force. In such cases, the high tide is lower than the normal and the low tide is higher than the normal. The difference is about 20%. This is known as neap tide. So basically neap tides are the moderate tides that occur on the half moon days. Now next we are starting up with the importance of tides. Tides play a very important role in all the activities relating to seas or oceans. So let's start. Tides destroy the coastlines and move debris to the sea. Number 2. Strong tidal currents prevent the formation of deltas by the rivers, but they help the rivers in forming their lower flood plains. Number 3. It also helps to keep the harbors clean by removing sewage and debris far into the sea. Number 5. Tides help in producing salt. Salt is produced in the salt pans along with the west coast of India, especially in Gujarat. Number 5. Tides also prevent ports of cold countries from becoming icebound in the winters. Number 6. Strong tidal currents help the ships to enter into the shallow harbors and to return with the tides. Number 7. Tides also govern the schedule of the fishermen. The fishermen sail out to the open sea during low tide and return with the high tides. Number 8. Tidal energy is also used to produce electricity. It is not only produced in Britain and France but also in Gujarat along the Gulf of Kutch in India. Now next we have that some of the creatures like oysters are attached to the rocky front of the sea coast. They remain in their fixed position, so they depend on tides only to bring them food. The high tides bring food for them, which help in their growth. So now let's read. Importance of tides. Tides generally help in making some of the rivers navigable for ocean going vessels. Now here navigable means movement of ships, and when they are talking about ocean going vessels, they are talking about ships, yachts, etc. Large ships enter the harbor of a shallow sea during the high tide and they go back also at the time of high tide. Now harbor is a place where the ships are kept. London and Kolkata have become the important ports during the tidal nature of the mouths of the Thames and Hooghly rivers respectively. The river mouths and estuaries. The river mouths means where the river meets the ocean, and estuaries is the wide part of river where it enters into the sea, are kept clean of the sedimentation due to the action of tidal currents. Now, tidal current here means the inward and the outward movement of water into the Gulf. The force of outgoing tides and the river current carries the silt. Silt means fine sand and clay to the open seas. This helps navigation but retards the process of delta formation. Retards means to hold back the process. At the time of high tides, a salty water is stored in the low-lying coastal areas. Coastal areas are the areas adjoining the sea. This water is spread out in the fields and used for preparing common salt. This process can be seen in the coastal areas of Gujarat, where a common salt is produced from the seawater. Number 4. The tidal force can also be used as a source of generating electricity. Britain, Canada and France have developed power stations which convert tidal energy into electricity, and this type of energy is also produced in India in Gujarat. France was the first country to produce electricity by using tidal energy. Now next, the water during the high tide strikes the coastal areas with a great force and break the regular coastline. Thus it helps in the development of creeks. Creeks are the narrow sheltered waterways which are smaller than the rivers and inlets along the coast. Now next, the inflow of the salty tidal water, especially along the coast of the cold countries, retard means to hold back the process of freezing and prevents the harbour from becoming icebound. For example, on the western coast of Europe, the seaports remain open even in the severe winters due to the warm water of the Gulf Stream and the North Atlantic Drift. Now next importance, that the fishing industry is held by the rhythm of high and low tides. The fishermen mostly sail out to the open sea during low tides and return to the coast at the high times. Basically, tides monitor the schedule of the fisherman. And at last we have that a large variety of sea creatures such as oysters live in the rocky front of the sea coast. The high tide brings food for them and helps in their growth and development. Basically, oysters are fed by extracting algae and other food particles from the water, which is constantly drawing over their gills. So now students, with this we are ending up with the topic of the day today. Please revise your topic and do the related exercises, and please keep exploring. Thank you.